Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about, also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field, and we like that. So what do we got in store for you today? Well, today we want to touch base and kind of revisit on something that we had said we would talk about and visit in the future back in the past when we had talked about it and referenced it being in the future, which is going to be about now, which is the present. Keep up if you're not paying attention. You should have already known where we were going with this. That's right, we were talking about Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, disclaimer, we have not completed this yet. We said that we'll do a side-by-side comparison, of this game and this game and how they mesh and go together, even though they're entirely different platforms and they don't mesh and go together. But man, flagships of platforms. And that's really the discussion that, we want to kind of have with that. But having not completed Zelda Breath of the Wild, we are confident enough to stand behind this, and flack that we get for it or not, but here goes. Zelda Breath of the Wild is not a 10 out of 10 game. Is it a good game? Yes, it is a very, very, very good game, from art style and, the looks of it, and, the progression, and the gameplay, and, the combat. Pseudo-finicky at times, but solid across the board. Even the degradation of the weapons and things like that over time, we like that about the game. Your stamina wheel makes sense, goes in the game nicely, fits really well. But why is it not a 10 out of 10? Well, it's up there, man, like we said, and easily, and we haven't even finished it yet, 9.8, 9.9, easily. It's not a 10 out of 10, because though you can cut down trees, which was the drawback for why God of War wasn't a 10 out of 10, because you couldn't cut down the little trees with your big, strong axe, this one is not a 10 out of 10 for a couple reasons. Reason number one, too many BS deaths. Now, all about doing, claiming ownership over deaths that we get in games. And we die in games all the time. We suck at games. We enjoy playing them. We suck at them. But we understand when the death is our fault and when it's kind of a BS death. And I guarantee you that a lot of other folks that have, played games across the spectrum, if you ever feel you've been wrongfully killed in a game, you call BS on it. And so that's what we do. Not every death. We definitely deserved, I'd say, 80% of the deaths in this game, but, there was probably literally 20% of the deaths that were like, really, come on, man. But, that aside, that is what it is. The other reason why this isn't a 10 out of 10 is because it has been packaged and marketed using a system of, mechanics that has flaws to it. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the motion control kind of aspect of when you have to tilt little screens and make balls go places and things like that. It's not perfected. Does it function? Yes. Does it function how it should? Mediocrely. It is infuriating and frustrating, and we don't do all the little thumbnails and gameplay footage and things like that. But there's some of them where no shit, we had the entire board tilted like this, and there'd be a ball that you're trying to get to roll down, and it wouldn't even start moving at all, and you would have the entire thing tilted, and then if you tilt anymore, the bitch falls off like that. It's insane, and no obstacles, no obstruction, just literally, the mechanics on the tilt functionality have some flaws. Does it work? Yeah, mediocrely. Is it a great concept and kind of thing to throw into the game? Yeah, it's another mechanic and another kind of, distraction in the game from what you're usually doing, and that's great. The variety of gameplay mechanics and things like that is great, but there's some flaws to it, and so just those two issues alone, man, the BS deaths and the kind of issues with the functioning of the tilt mechanics and things like that, they drop it from a 10 out of 10 game. Is the game good? Yes, it's stellar. It's very good. We haven't even completed it yet, so we're not going to give a final stamp on it, but as it sits right now, you know, it's easily up there and deserving of everything that, you know, it's got that has come to it. You know, what was it, like Game of the Year, things like that. Well deserved. Game is a masterpiece, you know, but it's not a 10 out of 10, you know. And a lot of folks, you know, might disagree, but we're in the pool of, you know, a few folks, man, that are out there that know that inherently there's no 10 out of 10 game. There's going to be an issue or things like that kind of arise and come up that people aren't going to like, whether it's for personal reasons or inability to do things. Maybe I just suck at motion controls, but holy shit, man, I wish I took a video of when I had like the board like this and there's a ball just sitting there and I was like, man, really? And it wasn't rolling down. It was insane, absurd, and it happened more than once. So, you know, it wasn't just like a one-time thing. It was a lot of the different motion control puzzles and things like that we've encountered. We haven't even finished the game yet. You know, is it infuriating enough to not play? No, because it mediocrely works. It just takes you longer than it really should. But, you know, for that reason and those reasons alone, already, you know, it's not a 10 out of 10. So I wanted to kind of jump on that, man, get that out there. Not that anyone cares. You know, we don't care. You don't care. No one cares. But for everything that, you know, had been talked up about it, is it a 10 out of 10? No, and we're technical. It's technically not a 10 out of 10. 9.8, 9.9, easily. Yeah, it's up there, man, unless something, you know, super comes out of the norm and you know, just deteriorates it from there, but highly unlikely. Like, you know, yeah, we played enough games to know that it's going to be solid from beginning to end, but we'll come back, chat about it when we finish it. Take us another while. You know, we're taking our time. You know, try not to rush through games. Enjoy it, especially ones like that. Game's great. Really, really good game. But, Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Now, if we had a score out of 10, you would be somewhere in the range up to 10, but probably not right on 10. But anyhow, no one cares. Have a good one. You probably didn't. Catch you next time. Probably won't.